WCS Korea Season 3 JOGUNSHOP GSL Final.
He is a legend. He is considered to be the most dominant Starcraft 1 player the world has ever known. His name is Flash. He's playing against CoCa, who's recently come back to Starcraft 2, seemingly with a vengeance. And he's actually about to go into Codes. All he has to do is defeat Flash. A tall order, on the other hand.
Yeah, but CoCa is definitely no pushover. People expected great things from him when he decided to leave StarCraft and go to League of Legends at a time when everyone was just thinking he would be the next champion in Codes. That was not the case, but now he's back and he is better than ever. Flash definitely with not an easy task here. Flash being a great player in StarCraft 2 as well, but a bit of a shadow of the performance that we saw from him in StarCraft 1. This is going to be a really entertaining game, and I think actually a lot of people will favor CoCa even a little bit since he came back.
Yeah.
He just was defeating everyone.
His games he played in round 2 were so good. And, he's on Jin Air along with the first 2 players we saw lose. And, unlike them, though, I feel like he plays a much more macro-oriented style. He's much less aggressive as a Zerg. He's really good in the late game.
Game number 1 is now coming up in just a few seconds, and it will already just give us a quick glimpse of how good these guys actually are facing off against each other. Yonsu is going to be the map. CoCa has a pretty sick statistic actually here in going up against a Terran player. 85% win ratio, but only 7 maps played.
Only 7 maps played,
so,
indeed.
Definitely something where I can say, okay, we don't really know how good he really is. He defeated MVP last and Assassin in the WCS so far. Now he's going up against Flash, who has a lot more experience in StarCraft 2, but will he be able to defeat CoCa here, this time without the curly hair? Going up in game number 1, we have Flash versus CoCa at the WCS Korea Korea. Colin Wolf. Starting to the bottom left of the map for Jin Air Green Wings, we have the Zerg player who came back. The prodigal son, it is.
Jin Air Green Wings CoCa.
Jin Air Green Wings CoCa, he's back to StarCraft 2 and he is taking down favorites left and right. Great statistics here in the Zerg versus Terran, but can he really pull it off against the Terran? Starting to the top right of the map in blue, it is.
KT Losto Flash.
And Flash is going into a very aggressive build, but unfortunately for him, his SCV was already scouted.
Yeah. Already known. And actually, he looks like he's going to cancel that since... So he went 11 barracks here now in the main after his SCV was scouted, so actually on the fly, switching things up. He could actually try to sneak a bunker down here or something. I don't think he'll do it, but he has that opportunity.
This is just something that is really amazing with Flash. I mean, he sees that the Overlord is there and that his own SCV was spotted. His original idea was to go into an 11 barracks and proxy that. But then when he realized what was going on, he immediately said, okay, you know what? This is not going to work for me. And he transitions out of it. He builds the barracks back at home and he takes gas. So goes into a normal build, loses the mining time with the first SCV, of course, gets a faster scout on the other hand. And CoCa himself is now with the drone to the top right, already busy, just harassing that SCV a little bit and realizes, okay, you build a barracks in your main base and now both of these players are going into a bit of a more normal game. But also for CoCa now, an adjustment.
Yeah, he actually goes for the faster pool. And, you know, it actually affects his economy quite a bit. He goes gas, too. He wanted to make the hatchery before his gas, but he actually fights an SCV, and the SCV will win the fight. Yeah. And now he can eBay block.
So, mind games already going on for both of them, and things definitely start to go a little bit awry for CoCa here. Not only does he not get the hatch first that he always won against a Terran player, but also we have an engineering block at the natural, so that will delay his expansion even further. He has gas on the other hand.
Yeah. And SCV actually escapes and goes home, and now the eBay block may... I feel like if he kept the SCV around, he could have made this eBay block so much more annoying with the Reaper, as the Reaper could have actually defended the engineering bay with more hit points for quite some time, and it's still going to be pretty annoying here. He's going to target the drone down. Drone is targeted, cancel on the eBay, and the drone will die.
Yeah.
Well, you know...
Nice job! Oh!
Flash is running circles around CoCa here in the early game. I mean, wow. And actually, the proxy hatch. Counter here's the proxy hatch at the natural. We are getting crazy games today, I have to say.
The mind games from both players here in the early game, the proxy hatch. And you know what? We also have speed. And another thing that we currently see, well, we actually pulled out of gas now, so he's at 16 gas, so he doesn't go into the Baneling nest. I thought he might just go for an all-in attack after this, since his hatch was delayed once again. But he's going for the Zerglings, and that bunker might not finish in time. I think it just will. But with the proxy hatch that we see there, the natural of Flash, this is definitely a situation that he will be a little bit uncomfortable with. And it all depends on how exactly CoCa is going to play it. But with all those links streaming in, I don't know, this is starting to get really iffy. There's so many Zerglings that one bunker is most likely not gonna cut it.
And he's gonna have more lanes coming out of the hatchery, I think.
Again the drone going down against the Reaper, and now the Zerglings have also been spotted, but this expansion for CoCa is just so late. He has to cancel here.
I think actually, I think Flash will hold.
Well, actually, to be quite honest, maybe he doesn't cancel.
He gets the Broodlings here, and the Broodlings are gonna help him.
He just thinks it's worth it to spread the creep and to get the Broodlings. He wants to get that. And those Lings are now going in. A couple of them heading into the main base, but there's a lift. And now he needs to go for that bunker, but the SCVs are already there. Immediately the replay is gone. The Broodlings are moving in. He's trying to take down the bunker. There are Zerglings everywhere. The SCVs are going for the repair. The heli coming out of the main base. He holds!
He holds it. He holds it here, and that is disastrous for CoCa because he has a very late hatchery going up here. Yes, he does transition, but the transition is going to be very rough. He has, he's up against Flash now as a second CC.
Resources lost 1,100 against 300. This is crazy. The harvester count 18 with the double CC and double mules for the Terran player, and only 21 harvesters for a supply blocked CoCa that has only one hatch. The second on about.
Oh, he's going to lose a second Overlord here as well, Cutter, I believe.
He actually could just getting away.
Go chase it, even if it gets away here. It doesn't.
Oh, barely.
Oh, wow. The 3 Marines there, you can see how quickly they can take out an Overlord. And well, now CoCa has got to be shooting himself on the foot. Or, well, he already has shoot himself on the foot, and he's got to be considering doing it again, because Flash now has 2 CCs. Like you said, the worker count basically even. Now dead even at 21 to 21. With the mules, the lack of larva that CoCa's been having, and the follow-up here for Flash is actually to go into Banshees.
This is just an absolutely insane game. From the start, both players just mind-gaming each other, changing strategies upon realizing that they were scouted. CoCa losing that drone that was trying to take the natural several times, going for a proxy hatch instead. Flash holding the bunker, back and forth the entire time. And everything that could go wrong for CoCa kind of went wrong. Flash just proved himself to be the more flexible player in this situation, and he has now Hellions on the map. The transition into Banshees is going to mess with CoCa a lot. The Jina Greenwing player is in so much trouble here now.
Yeah, and the Hellions actually just poking at the Queens. Just making sure that CoCa's not able to get a third base or spread his creep like he wants to. I don't even know... I mean, there is no next move for CoCa that's the best one, right? I mean, he basically just has to react to what Flash is doing and try to get an edge. Try to hope that he wins a good engagement against Flash. He tries to take Flash's momentum and try to push it back on him, because there's nothing that CoCa can do that's like this best choice or the safest choice on his own. I mean, he gets a lair, he has to do that. And against the Banshees, eventually it's going to help him, but since it's so delayed, it's not going to be helpful right now. And he might actually just attack with the Banshee and win the game with all the Hellions.
33 army supply against 8 at this point in time, Wolf, and we do not have a lot of things that can really deal with the Banshee, as already said. So right now, another Overlord going down, and oh my god, that might be all she wrote here. CoCa is in so much trouble, it is beyond belief.
No detection here, no Spore Crawler. Lair isn't quite finished yet. Queen's coming back. There's the Spore Crawler started, but so many drones going down. And the Hellions are just looking to say, well, I mean, I guess I don't have anything to do. There's not going to be any drones left to kill.
Yeah, the Spore Crawler is going to be so late. More drones going down. He's not even pulling them away. The Hellions still poised to attack. There comes the scan in the main base. Finally, he pulls his Harvesters, but he's losing even more. 9-10 kills on the Banshee, and we just got started with that. So at this point in time already, CoCa just falling completely apart. The opening was so bad for him, and Flash is just reaping what he saw.
I mean, this game is actually just an example of how blocking a Zerg's hatchery can actually just cost you so much. In this game particularly, all the blocks we saw from Flash really cost CoCa the game. CoCa decided to respond with an aggressive hatchery, that didn't work. But even before that, I mean, just the mind games from the block to the Reaper to saving the eBay to then killing the drone, just all these things really, really affecting CoCa early on.
I mean, Flash is now heading into mech with all the Hellions that he already has on the map, the double factory and armory coming in, even more the Banshees that we now see. But at this point, CoCa already needs a miracle. He needs a miracle to somehow make this happen, and I just don't see it going. I mean, look at those Banshees alone, taking out the Queens. That's all the anti-air that he has. The Spire is nearly complete. He can go for Needless now, but will that really matter? I do not think so.
I mean, he can basically just... he takes like 5 shots to kill a Spore Boy. He has so many Hellions. One Banshee gets very low, but it doesn't matter.
The Korean barbecue! There it is. And those harvesters are long gone. The drones trying to escape. Zerglings are not going to do anything against this ground force. And CoCa just trying into terms with what's happening here. And we have Flash victorious in game number 1.
Yeah, there's the GG. I mean, he basically won a game with a hatchery block.
Yeah.
I mean, there was a lot more to it than that, but...
it was definitely a back and forth game with how they wanted to open up. And CoCa was forced to go into a pool before hatch that he didn't really want to go for. Then he lost the drone that was trying to build the hatch a little bit later. He himself expected a proxy barracks because he saw the SCV. Flash changed it up and decided to just build everything in the main base. Both of these players making so many decisions on the fly, and Flash got the better end of it.
Yeah, it just goes to show that Flash is so good. He's a player who's so smart. We can take a scouted proxy barracks and turn it into a win. Really impressive play. CoCa's reactions were all correct, but you know, the hatchery at the natural didn't do what he wanted it to do.
This game could have gone so different if Flash wouldn't have been able to hold this, but with the SCVs that got the surface area at the bunker to repair, he had everything that he needed. If the SCVs don't repair the bunker is dead, the Marines are dying, the hatch goes through, stays for a lot longer, he can get a Queen out, and there are so many things. I feel this was like the crucial point in the game, when the bunker, when he held, when Flash held that was when he won the game. Everything after that was just him not making massive mistakes, but like holding the bunker, getting his base, that was the crucial part.
Yeah, after that it was just a light show basically. I mean, there was nothing CoCa could do. Like I said earlier, I mean, he has no right move. You can only just hope that Flash makes a mistake. Flash is Flash, he's not making any mistakes. So Velser Vestus, on the other hand, is game number 2's map. Totally different map than what we saw before. It's a 2-player map as well though. And will Flash actually go for the double barracks? We're going to find out right now. Can he take the 2-0? Will CoCa tie it up? The WCS Korea Challenger League with Calder and Wolf.